You turn on the kitchen light and a roach just stands there. Your first thought is, okay, it is only one. That is the mistake. Roaches travel through pipes, walls, and tiny cracks you never see. If one is out in the open, others are close. Today you will learn what that single roach is really telling you. You saw one roach? That means a whole crowd is hiding nearby. This is about what one roach sighting really means inside your home. You are going to learn why that just one moment often points to a much bigger problem. You hit the kitchen light and one roach stands still like it belongs there, and your brain goes straight to, okay, it is only one bug. That thought feels calming, but it can fool you because roaches do not think in one bug terms. Roaches treat your home like a maze, not a room. Baseboards act like tiny road lines, pipe gaps act like doors, cabinet seams act like safe corners. So when one roach shows up in the open, it often means the nearby hiding spots already feel safe, and safe hiding often means more than one roach is packed in close. A simple question helps. Why did it walk out at all? Roaches chase the same four needs every time: food, water, warmth, tight shelter. When all four are easy to get, they settle fast. Health housing guidance keeps pointing at moisture and hiding places because those two keep the whole setup going. A lot of people notice a frustrating clue. The counter is wiped, trash is out, dishes are done, and roaches still show. That happens because clean is not sealed, and sealing is what blocks their paths. Apartments can make this worse. Shared walls and plumbing runs connect units, so roaches can move through the building like it is one big space. One unit can feed a building problem without even knowing it. Under ideal conditions, a German roach can reach adulthood in about 50 to 60 days, so waiting can turn a small issue into a big mess. And the one thing that turns one roach into many roaches is smaller than your fingernail, so keep your eyes on the cabinets. That tiny egg case can hold 30 to 40 babies. In one shot, that small brown capsule near a hinge can ruin your week. It looks like nothing, and that is why people ignore it, and then the problem grows fast. German cockroaches make an egg case called an Uthaka, and it can hold about 30 to 40 eggs. That number alone is rough, but the way it gets placed is the part that shocks people. The female carries the egg case on her body until hatch time is close, then she drops it into a protected crack. So the egg case is not always sitting in one spot. It can be moving around your kitchen with her, slipping into seams, hiding near warm spots, and landing in a crack you never check. Timing adds pressure. A common figure for the egg carrying or incubation window is around 20 to 30 days, and temperature can change the pace. The full egg to adult cycle can run 70 to 100 days depending on conditions. That range explains why things can seem fine, then suddenly feel out of control. So you kill one adult and feel relief, and that relief can be short because the egg case can still be sitting somewhere warm, waiting. After nymphs hatch, they squeeze into tiny gaps, and they can stay hidden while they grow. Orkin Canada warns a single female can produce tens of thousands of descendants in a year under favorable conditions. That warning feels very real once you picture one case turning into 30 or 40 babies in one drop. Now picture this. You spray like crazy after hearing that, and the roach still walks like nothing happened. And the reason for that is going to sound unfair. Sprays don't scare them. Some can pause breathing for approximately 40 minutes. You spray the baseboards hard, like you mean it, and the roach keeps moving. That moment feels insulting because the product smells strong and the bug acts calm. Roaches breathe through openings called spiracles along their body. Pestworld reports they can hold their breath for about 40 minutes, and they can survive submerged for around 30 minutes. So a fume idea can fail because the roach body can wait longer than most people expect. Researchers also describe insects using discontinuous breathing while resting, with spiracles closed for stretches. During certain phases, spiracles stay tightly closed and gas exchange nearly stops, so your spray cloud can hang around and their body can reduce exposure during part of that time. Placement is another big reason sprays fail. Sprays rarely reach the real hiding zones, behind refrigerators, under dishwashers, inside cabinet voids, around plumbing. You end up coating open surfaces, while roaches sit deep in cracks where the dose stays weak. Speed makes it worse. Roaches can run up to 3 miles per hour, so one roach can cross a kitchen fast and touch a lot of surfaces before you even grab a towel. So sprays can miss, and speed can spread the mess, and the worst part is what happens after you think you killed one. The next fact explains why some people keep staring at the floor, expecting movement. Yep, a roach can live weeks without its head, so dead lies sometimes. You smash it, it flips over, and you walk away. Later you notice legs twitching, and your stomach drops because that movement makes you feel unsafe in your own kitchen. Scientific American explains the headless roach claim can be real, and roaches can live for weeks without a head in some cases. That sounds unreal until the breathing detail clicks. Roaches do not breathe through their mouths. They breathe through spiracles along the body, so losing the head does not shut down breathing like it would for animals that depend on lungs and a throat. They usually die from dehydration because they cannot drink once the head is gone. This matters in a home for a sneaky reason. An injured roach can crawl into a hidden void and die where you never clean, behind an appliance, inside a wall crack, under a cabinet edge. That can add nasty particles and smells, and it can also trick you into thinking the infestation is finished while the nest keeps going. Pest World points out the headless survival ties to an open circulatory setup and spherical breathing, so the body can keep going longer than your eyes expect. After a night like that, many people switch to bait and expect peace, and then the bait gets ignored like it is a bad joke, and the reason for that comes from the roach brain. Your bait can fail hard. Some roaches learn to avoid sweet stuff. You place gel bait, you feel smart, and you expect results. Days pass, and roaches still show up, and you start thinking the bait is useless. German cockroach populations have evolved glucose aversion, a behavioral resistance where roaches avoid sweet bait ingredients under bait pressure. A 2024 review covers this as a real adaptation tied to bait failure, so this is not a random idea. Nature also discusses how a sugar-rejecting genotype can persist under certain conditions. So a building can end up with roaches that treat sweet gel like danger, and your bait can sit there untouched while roaches keep moving. Now, look at the kitchen itself. Crumbs, grease film, pet food dust, and water can be easy food sources. When easy food is everywhere, bait becomes the strange option, and roaches pick the food they already know. IRAC materials describe glucose aversion as genetically based and highly adaptive under toxic bait pressure. That means you can do things right and still see failure because the population adapted. That is why bait needs strategy, not random blobs. But the bigger gut punch is what they carry on their feet, because the kitchen can look clean and still get contaminated overnight. They don't just look gross. They can drag germs onto your counters. You wipe the counter, you cook, and you feel fine. Then late at night you see a roach run across the same path and your brain goes to one question: what did it walk through before it walked there? Roaches can mechanically carry and spread microbes. A scientific review on foodborne pathogens discusses cockroaches as possible transmitters because they move between dirty zones and food prep zones without permission. No bite is needed. Contact can do it. This hits hard for older viewers. You can do everything right and a roach can still walk across a drying dish rack after crawling near a drain area. That feeling is not just gross, it is personal because it touches your food space. And because they move fast, one sighting can mean a lot of surface contact happened before you noticed. Some research explores deeper interactions with pathogens like salmonella, which keeps scientists interested in roach pathogen dynamics. That tells you the concern goes beyond mess. Now take one step deeper, because even when you see almost none, dust from roaches can still affect breathing, and that part can sit in your home quietly. Even worse, roach dust can mess with asthma without you seeing them. Breathing feels worse at night, and you blame dust or weather. You clean again, you change routines, and the tight feeling still shows up, and that pattern can point to something you never see. Cockroach allergens, commonly Blade G1 and Blade G2, are strongly linked with asthma morbidity in many studies. A major NEJM paper found asthma morbidity was highest among children who were both allergic and exposed to high levels of cockroach allergen in bedroom dust. That detail matters because it puts risk in the room where people rest. Low sightings do not mean low exposure. Allergen comes from droppings, shed skins, and fragments that break down into dust. Reviews discuss how cockroach allergens contribute to allergic disease and asthma, so the problem can sit in dust even when roaches stay hidden. That NEJM study reported 36.8% of children were allergic to cockroach allergen in the sample. That number is heavy because it shows sensitivity can be common. Immunotherapy research describes daily dosing containing hundreds of micrograms of Blagi-1 and higher dose arms, showing these allergens are real in medical terms, not just a scary story. Once you realize dust can stay behind, you start watching the house like a detective, and roaches leave a pattern because they keep choosing the same spots for a reason. They don't roam randomly. Heat, water, and cracks are their GPS. You keep seeing roaches near the sink, and it starts feeling like they pop up on purpose. Same area, same timing, and you keep thinking, why that spot again? They follow comfort signals. Warm motors, damp plumbing, and tight dark gaps pull them in. German roaches like temperatures around 77 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit, 25 to 30 degrees Celsius, close to what many homes already have. The refrigerator motor area becomes a warm shelter. The dishwasher gap can turn into a humid hideout. The undersink cabinet can turn into a leak zone, and even a small drip can keep them active. Crowding changes what you notice. When the nest gets packed, you can see more risk-taking. Roaches showing earlier in the evening, and sometimes showing during the day. Daytime sightings can mean hiding spots are full, and they are being forced to take chances. A female can become reproductively active about 4 to 6 days after reaching adulthood, so an infestation can grow fast once adults mature. That is why problems can feel sudden. This leads into a myth that hurts people the most, because it turns a pest problem into a shame problem, and shame does not block a single roach. My house is clean, so I'm safe is a comforting lie. Roaches don't care. You keep your place tidy, you work hard, and you assume that means safety. Then a roach shows up anyway, and the first feeling is embarrassment, like the house is blaming you. Roaches care about access and shelter. Even strong cleaning habits can't stop a building-wide problem from drifting into your unit. You can clean daily and still get roaches because the building connects everyone. They also survive on less than most people expect. Pest World states roaches can live about 1 month without food, yet only about 1 week without water. That detail changes the fight. Food control helps, but water control often decides the outcome. A drip under the sink can keep them alive. Condensation can act like water. Damp spots behind appliances can keep them going even if your counters look perfect. Orkin Canada says adult German cockroaches can survive up to a month without food and can die within about 2 weeks without water, with ranges varying by conditions. That range shows why moisture matters so much. The fix stops being about blame and starts being about cutting what they need. And the order of steps matters more than most people think. God mode fix. Cut food plus water plus hiding spots and the whole nest collapses. You want nights without surprise sightings. You want a plan that stops the cycle, not a routine that keeps you stressed every week. German roaches need the same core resources every time. When those resources disappear, the population collapses because their daily setup breaks. Start with water first. Fix leaks. Wipe sinks at night. Dry around pipes. Common guidance often notes many roaches die fast without water, often around 1 week, and that short timeline is why water control hits hard. Then seal routes, caulk gaps, close pipe holes, tighten baseboard cracks. Those tiny voids are shelter and travel lanes, and sealed gaps reduce movement. After that, remove easy food. Grease film under a stove can beat bait every time, so clean the hidden spots, not only the visible ones. Crumbs in corners can feed roaches, so remove those too. Bait needs strategy. Small placements on travel lines work better than random blobs. And rotation matters because glucose aversion is real and documented. One product can fail in a building where roaches adapted. Egg cases matter too. They're basically the reset button. Remove them and you stop new waves before they start. Orkin's American Cockroach Life Cycle notes each egg case has about 15 embryos, and a female can produce 6 to 14 oothecae in a lifetime. Keep your eyes sharp, because the next light you flip on should show a quiet floor, not a roach standing there like it owns the place. If this makes your skin crawl, keep that feeling, because the next story gets even stranger. Drop your worst roach moment in the comments, and tap the next video now.